Hello friends, welcome back to this session. So in this session we are going to understand how we can create a Docker image using the Packer. We'll do the automation using the GitHub Action, and we are pushing our image to the GitLab Container Registry. The difference is the previous session and this session is basically we want to make the dynamic tagging while we do running our CI/CD pipeline. So this is one of the requirement from our one of the comment section. We got the comment and they need this automation, how we can passing the tagging dynamically from the pipeline. So normally our previous example was we given the static tagging, and here we will going to create a dynamic, so you can run pass from the dynamically from the variable. How we actually going with the build with parameter in your Jenkins. So similar we are going to handle here in the GitHub action. So steps we are going to handle here, we'll be setting up the repository or the GitLab, creating the personal access token, this credential part. Then we'll create a new repository and the GitHub Packer files we are making to build the Docker and workflow action file. This is the important part. Here we are making the change. Here we have to define the workflow dispatch part that will give the authority to the trigger the CI/CD pipeline manually. Then we'll run the workflow and we're going to validate the GitLab registry whether our new tag has been pushed or not. So let's move to the GitLab. So let me stop this one. So right now I'm in the GitLab here. So we have the our project has been created. The Docker example project we have created. In the deploy part, you can see here we'll get the container registry here. So container registry is basically empty because we didn't push anything here. So here we have to push the new tag what we are going to build from the GitHub Actions access token. So you can go in the profile, you can go to an access token, and you have to create your access token here. Since I have created just now, so I'll use the same key, but you can create a new action here, the access token. You'll copy your personal access token. Okay, let me go to the repository part. Here I'm just creating the new repository here. So we'll go to the new job name, Packer parameter. Okay, so let me give the Packer file name here. Okay, so Packer file is ready. I'm just pushing the change. Let me explain what is the Packer file. So Packer file contains the Packer, how we are taking the plugin from the Packers. That's a Docker plugin taking from the Packer, and here we are taking the Ubuntu 20 image, and we are making the some basic steps, that is the installation, the apt update and apt install some packages, and at last we are making the tagging of our image. So this tag we are not using, we are using the on top of one tag. So this tag we will keeping as it is for our existing example, but yeah, on top of this tag we want to make the new tag. So let me go to the action part here, action workflow. Let me copy my previous file. I'm just creating the blank workflow here, creating the build.yaml. Let me replace here. Okay, let me explain the job file here. So this is the key part here. I'm just making the bit zoom here so you can see. Okay, the difference in the older job and this job is basically this workflow dispatch. So on workflow dispatch, this will basically you give the control on the trigger on your hand, and on the workflow dispatch you are taking the input. So I given the version tag as the input. The default value is latest, but yeah, you can give the external value also. So this is basically our configuration for our manually passing the dynamic parameter to the job. Okay, let me go down here. See, here we are passing the tag here. So tagging a push image here. So that same version passing version tag. So here GitHub event dot input dot version tag. Same variable is version tag here. So input dot version tag. So GitHub event input dot version tag. The same we are passing here as a version. So version is value here that will pass here to the your tagging. So right now we are making the tag, and then we are passing our latest image and our version image also. So let's submit this code here. I'm just pushing this code. Okay. So before triggering job, we have to setting up our credential part. credential part is added successfully. Let me go to the action part to validate our workflow. So here you can see the basically the difference comes here. So all workflow name comes here. So I'm just clicking here the workflow name, and here you find the run workflow. So this will not trigger automatically since we given the manually. So here you can see the workflow. We have given the version image tag here, and the default branch you can select, and you can give your version tag here. So I'm just giving the latest 2 here. So latest 1 we have there. Now let's run the our workflow here, and this will trigger our workflow. Okay, so workflow has been triggered here, and now you can see this will going to run the same what we did earlier. So it will do the setup Docker, then Packer, initializing Packer, validating Packer files, then do the build. So it's reached the build level here, the Docker build, then it will log into the GitLab Container Registry, then tagging that part, and then push the image to the GitLab registry. So you can see, so build part is running now. So I think we need to wait for a while. Let's see the status here. So build image is completed. You can see here now it's doing login to the GitLab registry, and then it's making the tag here. You can see the run version tag here is latest 2. We have given the parameter latest 2. You can see the same parameter pass here. Version value comes to the latest 2, and that will push to the command where it will pass the version as a variable here latest 2. So this will make the tagging of our image. Then it will push the image to the GitLab Container Registry. So its tagging part is running here. You can see this tagging part is running, and okay, tagging done, push is done. Now it's making the logout. Okay, let's go to the container registry here. I'm just going here back to our project Docker example. In the deploy section, we'll go to the container registry here. So container registry in the Docker example, the name, and you can see there is a 2 image, the latest 2 and latest. So we have pushed the image. You can see our code workflow file here. So we have pushed the image here, the latest and the version. So version is the latest 2, latest is your hard coded value. So here you can see both value here. So this is the example how we can pass the manually vary parameter from the UI. So normally it's triggered automatically, but here the requirement is we have to trigger the parameter from the externally. So yeah, let me do the cleanup part here. Just I'm deleting my tag here, just going back to my profile. In the access token, we're going to the revoke our token here. Okay, so I think this is all about how we can push and automate the Docker image with the different set of action like parameter here. Thank you.
If you have any question or any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye and have a nice day.